Hi, welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, and this is the aftermath. Well, first aftermath of the season, and what an aftermath. What an aftermath after yesterday's game. It couldn't have got off to a worse start. I mean, what an absolute disaster yesterday was. We were actually going to film aftermath yesterday after the game. I'd spoken to my cameraman Tal, and I was saying what we could do is we could do one straight after, get people to tweet in, and I'm actually glad that I didn't do it after the game because I've had time to kind of settle, reflect, get a lot of the anger out of the way, and really look and analyse the whole situation of what happened yesterday. First of all, let's talk about the game. I mean, to be beaten 3-1 at home by Aston Villa is a bad result at the best of times. To have that happen to you on the first game of the season, it's nothing short of a disaster. And the reason why is a lot of the circumstances surrounding it. We've had all summer in which to bring in transfers, right? We've been told at the start of the summer that we've got £70 million plus to spend, and you know, money's no object. We can go out there and we can compete now with the best. That's what we were told by Arsenal board and by Arsene Wenger as well. And we haven't done that. We've made one signing, Yaya Sanogo, on a free, but we haven't spent any money. We haven't bought in no players apart from Yaya Sanogo. In fairness, he's a young kid. I mean, you can't just throw him in. He's going to take time to grow into the team. I don't know whether he's going to be an excellent player or not. We're going to have to give him a chance, but he's a young kid. But on the whole, we haven't bought anybody. Now, we go into the first game of the season, no player coming. All the positions that we need to fill were exposed yesterday. We were exposed at the back. Koscielny got sent off, who is our best defender. He's going to miss the next game. We've got no cover. Nothing. We sent Giroud out on loan. We haven't replaced him. There's been rumours we're going to get Ashley Williams, this person. We haven't replaced him. We had not even a defender to bring off of the bench to put into that position. Nobody. No cover. Right? Defensive midfielder. Arteta got injured before the game. We're playing Ramsey there, who's not a defensive midfielder. He's a good player, but he's not a defensive midfielder. We haven't bought a defensive midfielder. Why? Victor Wanyama went to Southampton. We could have got him. Luis Gustavo, for Pete's sake, chose to go to Wolfsburg, a mid-table German Bundesliga team, over Arsenal. Now, could you see Luis Gustavo going, if Manchester United are coming for him, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barcelona, these are the clubs we've been told we're going to be able to compete with. If those clubs had come in for him, do you think he would have went to Wolfsburg? Come on, something is wrong. We got exposed in that position. And then up front, we've been saying we need a world-class striker. Listen, I'm not faulting Giroud. He scored yesterday. He tried his best. But where were the options? No options to bring off of the bench. No world-class striker. No striker coming in and gelling. We turned down Higuain during the week. Higuain is the main striker for Argentina. Look how good their team is. Look at the amount of strikers they've got at their disposal. And Higuain is the main man striker there. And Higuain even scored during the week, and we didn't get him. But they could have bought a defensive midfielder. They could have bought a centre-back. They could have bought a goalkeeper. That was another area yesterday in which we saw the flaw. You know, the first goal was a penalty. You know, what was Chesney doing? Rush of blood. Take it to, you know, he's a young keeper. He's a good keeper, but we've been saying we need an experienced keeper in there. There's guys like Cesar that we could have bought in. We haven't bought in. Nobody. Somebody please explain it to me. And it's been, what we had yesterday is we had our fans going there even before the game. They were frustrated. We walked past some fans, and there was one fan, he was going this way to another trophyless season. I thought to myself, come on, mate, that's a bit negative. But I could understand how the guy felt. Imagine on your first game, everybody should be going down there excited. yeah, I'm excited because I want to see this new player and I want to see that new player and I'm just excited for the new season. Our fans were just going down there yesterday and they were like, you know what, we're glad football's back and we're glad Arsenal are back and we love our club, we miss going to watch them, but they weren't excited. They weren't excited. You know what I mean? So no signings, nothing to give us any excitement. And then we saw it on the pitch. All right, we went 1-0 up. Don't get me wrong, the referee yesterday was absolutely awful. You know, what he was doing, I don't know. And probably if we would have had a different referee, we might not have got the same result. However, you got to play to the whistle. You got to play to the result. And, you know, our performance was not good enough. You know, the game, I was watching the game and I was thinking to myself, even at halftime, I'm like, this is an even game. This is an even game. It's not like we're all over Villa and they got a lucky break from the penalty. It was an even game. Villa did deserve to win that game in the end. So there can be no excuses from Arsene Wenger and the board because their summer policy, transfer policy, has fallen apart, has led to what happened yesterday. It's like chickens coming home to roost. That is what has caused yesterday's performance. I've heard that even some of the players, imagine this, some of the players are even a bit disgruntled that there's been no new signings in because they feel like they're under too much pressure. And now we're going into that game against Fenerbahce. And listen, if you look at Fenerbahce's team on paper, it's a better team than Villa's. And we're going into that game. It's going to be a real cauldron over there in Turkey, as it always is. That's a major game for Arsenal. And we've hardly even got any first-team players to get into the squad for that game because so many players have been injured. Players are out. Oxlade-Chamberlain's out. I mean, it's just almost like a disaster. And I don't know. I was chatting to Dave this morning from the BSM movement. And he said to me yesterday, yesterday was almost like our 8-2 moment. And for all you who don't understand what he was saying, if you remember a couple of seasons ago, we got beaten 8-2 by Manchester United right at the start of the season. And then Wenger went out and he bought a load of players. Kind of a lot of people saying he panicked buy, but he bought some players in. And I said to Dave, you know what? I think this is worse than the 8-2 moment because the 8-2 moment, I remember nobody was expecting us to beat Manchester United. Everybody was expecting us to lose because we could see the squad wasn't good enough. But yesterday, at home, first game against Aston Villa, I don't think anybody expected us to lose that game. All right, maybe draw, but not lose in the way in which we did. And it's been a total disaster. And I think it could actually be a blessing in disguise because now Arsene Wenger and the board, they can't lock themselves away from the reaction of the fans. You saw the videos from yesterday. It was raw emotion from some of those fans. And we're not talking about fans who are Wenger haters, or we're not talking about fans who hate the club. We're talking about fans who love the club. But they were just so angry because of the transfer policies of the summer and the lack of activity and then what they saw on the pitch that they just had to express it. And I think they were totally right to do so. And, you know, Wenger and the board cannot hide no more. It's almost a bit like, if I give you an analogy, like a drug addict, yeah? You'll have a drug addict and everybody around him is saying to him, you've got a problem, mate, you've got a problem. And the drug addict can't see it. He's like, I'm all right. What is everyone? And then one day he wakes up and he's in hospital or he's on a park bench somewhere and he wakes up and he says, oh, you know what? I've got a serious problem here. I need to go and get myself sorted out. I think that's what happened to Arsenal and the board, Arsene Wenger and the board yesterday. They've realised there's nowhere to hide. I mean, I saw an interview with Arsene Wenger about a month ago where he said he actually sometimes is laughing when he sees some of the players he's linked with and what the press are saying. It may be funny for you, Arsene, but for Arsenal fans who've been waking up throughout the summer, reading their papers, looking on the internet, trying to find out who we're linked with, who we may be bringing in, it's not funny for us. Because we're just so desperate for a team that's going to compete. And at the moment, this team is not competing. And that team that was out there yesterday is the basis of a good team, you know, and you need a good team. It's not just about individuals. If you look at Borussia Dortmund last year, they were a good team. And then on top of that very good team, They had some superb world-class individuals like Gundogan, like Lewandowski, like Marcus Royce. That added the spice. That's what we need. We've got the basis of a very, very good team. We just need those world-class players to add that spice. And that's why I'm baffled. Why didn't we get Higuain? Why didn't we get the release clause for Fellaini, let's say, and get him in? Why? Why are we waiting to the last minute of the transfer window to do our business, where we had a game yesterday, 2 Premier League games before the end of that, and the Champions League qualifier? It is madness. And I can understand that. Listen, I'm not a Wenger out man. I believe we still, it's the first game, and I don't want to get too carried away, but he's got a lot of questions to answer about what happened yesterday and why throughout this summer they have hoodwinked the fans by saying they've got money, they're going to bring players in, and they've brought in nobody. Why? He needs to answer that. The answers, we need those answers. Let me get into some of the tweets. You know what? There were so many tweets. I'd say I've never seen so many tweets. We put it out and we'll say, Aftermath, send us in your tweets. I'd say we've had about 100 at least. That was in about 20 minutes. I'm just going to pick out about 5 of them because more or less they're all saying the same thing. Northbank Upper says, despite all the doom and gloom, I thought I'd pick a positive one. He said, despite all the doom and gloom, the referee played a massive part in the result yesterday. And how did Ron Vlaar stay on the pitch? Vlaar himself even admitted that he thought he should have been sent off. The referee yesterday was absolutely diabolical. He was terrible, that referee. It wasn't even just the penalty and the red card for Koscielny. It was just all throughout the game. It was almost like he was on a mission not to give Arsenal anything. That referee shouldn't even be refereeing, as Bully said, down Hackney Marshes. He was awful. Aqib Khan says, you can't only blame the refs. We switch off at crucial moments, need dedication and focus. And why did Podolski come on so late in the game as a substitute? I was baffled by that as well. You've got a game you're losing. You've got a guy who can put the ball in the back of the net. I saw Podolski's body language when he came onto the pitch. It's almost as if he didn't even want to come on. It's almost as if he was saying to Arsenal, why are you bothering to put me on now for? A couple of minutes before the end. It's ridiculous. Oh, I don't get it. Ivan Apofalowski says, AW to say that there are some positives after the game. What positives, mate? It was an effing disaster. After every loss, he says the same things to the press. There were no positives to take from that game yesterday. None. The only positive I could think of was I thought Oxlade-Chamberlain did very well until he went off at half-time. Probably Thomas Rosicky played okay as well, but I find it hard to take any positives. Daniel Parker said the referee did get some decisions wrong and was a bit harsh, but ultimately yesterday's result was down to a lack of spending. That is almost what everybody's saying. And Jonathan Scoglin says it was the worst refereeing I've ever witnessed. It's like Mike Dean had a blind son and just shoved him into the field. I thought I'd be that one because that was funny. But it's just, yeah, I'll tell you one other thing that was really disturbing yesterday. There was a lot of anger between fans. I mean, I was sitting in the clock end yesterday, sitting in a different seat, and I saw 3 different fights between Arsenal fans. I've never seen that before. Fights. There was one guy, and before the end of the game, a lot of fans were leaving. They'd had enough. And there was some fans walking out. And there was a guy about 2 rows down from me. And he said to one of the guys, oh, yeah, you're showing your great support by leaving early. And the guy turned around and swung at him and said, listen, mate, I got a right to leave early. I don't want to stay to watch this rubbish. These are Arsenal fans fighting amongst each other. I had to sort of get in between them and say, guys, just calm down. You don't want to lose your season tickets for the rest of the season. I mean, this is what it's come down to. And it's all Arsene Wenger and the board's fault because they made us turn up at that game yesterday without any hope. Now, listen, I'm going to try and be positive here. It's only the first game of the season. That is my positive here. It could be a good thing that happened yesterday. I know it sounds crazy, We got beat, but it's only one game, and it's the first game. And I saw last season that when we had like some bad results, we had a run of bad results, we had a great reaction. We went to Bayern Munich, and then after that, we turned our season around. I'm hoping that what happened yesterday is going to be the wake-up call of all wake-up calls to the management and the board of Arsenal Football Club. That they now become more transparent. That they now realise that you can't go into transfers and just say, haggle over the odd million and that. If you need a player, you're going to need to get him. That they now realise that Arsenal fans this season are not going to tolerate what we've been tolerating for many seasons. There's an Arsenal fan yesterday that we interviewed, and he said, you get in life, you get what you pay for unless you're an Arsenal fan. I mean, that comment what he made was so true. We pay so much money to go and watch our great team, and at the moment, we're not getting value for money, right? We must have an improvement. Fans like me, we travel up and down the country to see this club, and we're a big club. And at the moment, we're not behaving like a big club. We're behaving like a bunch of Scrooges who don't want to pay the money to get the real top quality players in, and we're just tottering along and getting fourth. That is not going to be acceptable this season, right? What we want this season is a team that is going to compete to win the Premier League. That is what we want. A team that's going to compete to win the Premier League. I don't know if we'll win it. I don't know what we'll win, but at least if we're competing to win it and we're in with a shout, then as far as I'm concerned, then we're progressing. Oh, what a rant that's been. First game of the season. You know, I should be here. I should be saying, oh, yeah, it's positive here. Looking forward to this. It was great to see our new signing. He did this. Nothing. But, hey, that's being an Arsenal supporter. Thank you to everybody yesterday who contributed toward the videos. I mean, there was some amazing... we were trying to pick out our video of the day, and it was almost impossible because so many people, there's such a variety of people said so many brilliant things. I mean, there's one video there with the guy who says about either Wenger or the board must go. That video's gone absolutely crazy. I mean, that video, you just got to watch that to see the passion of that fan. Oh, it's unbelievable. Make sure you check out those videos, and thank you again to everybody who contributed to all those videos. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, like this video if you've enjoyed it. We've got new presenters on the channel now. Philippa CB, don't forget to check out her pre-match stuff. Absolutely brilliant she is. And of course we've got Cookies doing the match previews and reviews. And also he's doing the new FIFA channel, our new FIFA channel. For all you FIFA gamers out there, make sure you check that out. The links are all down below. And of course we've got our t-shirts. If you want, this is a new blue and yellow one. Make sure you grab yourself of these. You don't even have to put the name of a player on the back if you believe that player may go. Check these out. These are available on the website. It helps us a lot. Helps us to put some petrol in the car to go to the next football match. And listen, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll be at the next game. Look, listen, I haven't given up yet. There we go. Fulham away. We'll be there. Arsenal Fan TV will be there. In fact, we're going to be at every game this season, home and away. Make sure you find us afterwards. Tell us what you thought about the game. And I'm hoping that we're not going to have to get reactions like what we got yesterday. I'm just praying that from now on, this will be a turning point yesterday, and Arsenal is going to move into being a team that's going to compete this season in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and in all the cups. It's time for a change.
What you saw there was the result of total incompetence by the board and the manager, and it couldn't have gone any worse. They've had 90 days to buy players. We've lost 5 players in one day, and due to their incompetence, there's a very good chance all that hard work we did trying to get fourth, he could blow it Wednesday night. And I tell you something, one of them, if not both of them, have got to go. And I've got a message to Tim Payton and John Cross and all you media lovies, get off your arse and start saying it as it is. And a message to the board, either fucking shape up or get out, because you've let all the fans down.